YouTube, a new Master Duel festival is here, and this one is all about link summoning. And for it today we have an almost 100% win rate deck featuring at Ignisters. At Ignister is a very compact engine just like Evil Twins, being able to afford running so many hand traps and going second cards to ensure that even if our opponents interrupt our one card combo, which we use to summon YuGiOh Strongest Boss Monster, which happened to be a link monster, we are still able to come back into the game by disrupting our opponent plays or just breaking their board with something like Dark Ruler or more, which we are running 3 copies of. So what does this deck do exactly? It has an almost win condition going first combo that cycles through so many monsters and links to summon YuGiOh Strongest Card, which is the Arrival Cybers at Ignister. This is a link 6 monster that gains 1000 attack for every monster with different attribute used for its link summon, and it is simply unaffected by all other card effects. Which means, in a Link Festival specifically, if you summon this guy properly with 6000 attacks, you basically win the game, because not even access code summoned over something like Unicorn will be able to go over this guy. And this deck facilitates that happening easily. So how does this deck work? Well, we are cycling through many different Ignister monsters, starting with Echichi or Picari, or you can start with AI Meet You, or Sign It Mining. You have so many starters. We have like effectively 12 copies of our starters. We have some extenders like Hayari, Doshin, and Gachiri. We have cards like Imperm, Ash, Nibiru, Effect Veiler, which I need to craft a second copy of to just like disrupt our opponent plays. I had so many duels where I just like keep disrupting my opponent plays that they just rage quit, which is something you see in decks like Evil Twins and this one. Next we have cards like Called by the Grave and Curse Out Designator to protect our first turn combo. I'm not gonna pretend that this deck can play through as many hand traps as possible. In fact, sometimes you get a hand that only one Ash can stop it. But the magic of this deck is that it can disrupt our opponent almost all the time because we are playing so many going second cards. Now, I want to emphasize on the fact that the combo in this deck is not simple, but I will be showcasing it. It's always the same. It either starts with Picari or Echichi, or just like you can search them using Sign It Mining. Ideally you want Echichi. You guys will be seeing me in the other half of this video doing the combo once where I don't get interrupted, and then when I get interrupted and how I manage to come back into the game. We also have some rogue cards like Torrential Tribute because some guys are playing the Crusadia OTK deck with some kaijus. So if my Arrival gets kaiju'd, I still have Torrential to protect myself. Having Torrential set means that you can't be OTK'd basically. And if you get one chance to OTK your opponent, we have resurrection cards like Idol Reborn, AI Fighting Spirit, and Monster Reborn to summon back like the Kaiju'd Arrival or whatever like way they manage to get rid of this card. And then you can summon Access Code Talker over this guy, which is then going to target the Arrival in the graveyard, giving it extra 6000 attack, allowing Access Code to be one card OTK option in this deck. Aside from that, we are only playing like generic Link monsters. We have Update Jammer, which we don't use a lot. We have 2 copies of Splash Mage. One of them is required for the combo, the other one can go into an Access Code Talker. We have 2 copies of Access Code Talkers because this is a pure Link deck. You obviously want to have spare Access Code if something happens to the first one. We have 2 Transcodes, one for the combo, one for the Access Code. We have 1 copy of the Dark Templar, which you will need to summon the Arrival properly using like the main cards of the deck to get it to 6000 attack. And we have 1 copy of Fire Phoenix, which is required to have here because if you play AI Meet You, you can reveal this guy in your extra deck to add Echichi from your deck to your hand. And yeah, that's basically the deck.